Hey there, crafty friends. It's Carla from Creative Love Affair, and I am here today so excited. I've joined the Wild Whisper design team. It's a Canadian company. The papers and scrapbook products they produce are amazing, and I'm really excited to join them. This month they even have a stamp set, and they have some wonderful products from some amazing other small business companies as well. So you're definitely going to want to check them out at wildwhisperdesigns.com. And here today I'm using the Focus on You scrapbook collection that they've brought out for January. The papers are beautiful, and the stamp set I'll show you in a bit. It's amazing as well. I'm making a scrapbook layout, and I've used the sketch from the Creative Scrapbooker Sketchy Challenge. They have a sketch each month, which is fun to follow along with. And I'm actually scrapbooking myself, which never happens. So I actually showed this scrapbook page to my daughter when I was finished, and she looked at it with a puzzled look on her face, and she said, "Mom, you never scrapbook yourself. This is great." Anyway, so I realized I have to do it more. And it was really fun to kind of focus on me, which is the point of this whole collection. Of course, the papers, you could use them for anything, but it really was awesome to just take a little bit of time to do a scrapbook page for myself. So I've glued down my papers according to the sketch. And you can see that journaling card there. This was on my birthday that just passed in December, and my husband and I went out for dinner, and the kids were at a sitter's, and that never happens. And I went shopping, and he helped me pick out some clothes and try them on, and it was really, that day was all about me, and that really never happens. You know, it's busy with kids and being busy with everybody else, that you don't really take a lot of time for yourself. And it was nice to remember that, yeah, this is fun just to do stuff for myself. So these cameras from this paper are amazing. Like, there's some really cool cameras there. I wanted to cut them out and use them as some images on my page. And there you see that super cool stamp set. It is gorgeous. The stamp is really well made. It's a clear stamp so you can see through it. And I'm going to emboss with this super cool embossing powder from Emerald Creek, and it's sold in the Wild Whisper store. It's got some blues and greens in it. It's just really beautiful, and it just melts beautifully. And I'm just kind of showing you here up close. I'm going to list all the products that I used below the video and links to those in the Wild Whisper shop. And I just thought that stamp made a really awesome title for my page, because it was, I just need to remember that I need to focus on myself. I used these color box inks for my stamping. Really, you could use whatever you have or want. I found they worked really nice, and there's a burst in the stamp set. You could use it for flowers. You could use it for like a camera burst, like a sequiny kind of exciting, yay. And that's what I wanted to do. Like, here's my title. So I stamped a color on the stamp, and then I'm using some more embossing powder. And the embossing powder is chunky, so a lot of times I will actually emboss from the back of my paper to start it melting, and then I bring my heat gun to the front, and I get my heat gun really nice and hot. But I love the way, like, this is supposed to be an embossing powder that just is fun and melty and has lots of texture. And here you can see it's fractured ice embossing powder. That's again from Emerald Creek, and it's sold in the Wild Whisper shop. And I'm laughing because the last time I used that, my daughter spilt it all over the floor. And I love this embossing powder. It has like flecks of black and chunks of ice in it, and I just couldn't stand to vacuum it up, so I got as much as I could out of the carpet. And so you may see a few specks of some extras in my embossing powder that you wouldn't have in yours, but it still works, and love the texture on it. And so right now I'm inking up some of those beautiful stamps from the stamp set that's in the Focus on You collection. And I found with the feathers, there's an outline for the feathers, which is really cool. I found it easier for me to stamp the outline first, which I wanted to do in black, and then stamp the feather inside. And it seemed to line up amazingly. I'm just stamping all those, and then I'm gonna fussy cut them out and layer them up. Now I've got a really cool wood star from Southridge Trading Company, and that again is sold in the Wild Whisper shop. And I inked the star, and then I'm going to put embossing powder on it. And I used my heat gun from the back, again getting it nice and hot, and then brought it to the front. And you can see it embosses some parts of it and shows the ink through the bottom, and I just love the look of it. And now I'm putting on my embellishments, and the only thing that's not from the Wild Whisper shop is the mint chip sequins at the bottom. These chunky cork stars and the chevron cork, as well as the gunmetal sequins, are from Spiegelbaum Scraps, and you can get them in the Wild Whisper shop, which is really cool. Gunmetal gray sequins, sorry. I usually like to put those on with glossy accents, and then I use some tacky glue to attach the cork. It goes on really easily. So you can see that I'm just adding, I put my sequins on, place them on where I wanted them to go, and then I can just pick them up, add a little dot of glossy accents, and pop them down. It dries really quickly. That's the way I find it easiest to add them on there. And I kind of just go around and do I usually try to keep with, about 3 different kind of clusters. So I've got my title, I've got my journaling card area with the cameras, and then I've got a little area on the bottom right. And I find just kind of layering some sequins, some cork, that star in the different areas, the stamps, just gives you kind of that triangular effect. Now there's those stamped images you saw me stamping earlier. I love the way those turned out. I'm definitely going to be doing some cards with those. In the middle of the flowers, I stamped some of the middle stamps that you saw in the stamp set, and I actually embossed them with white embossing powder. And I just layered them up and got them kind of in a cluster the way I wanted it, and stuck them on, used a little foam tape to pop them up. And here you see, oh my goodness, on this page. I really love the way it turned out, and I hope you'll try the Wild Whisper papers. You won't be disappointed. They're beautiful and thick and just fun to work with. And I'm going to show you a little peek at the pocket pages that I made. Here's a little look at the 2 pocket pages that I created. And I had some extra pictures, so I wanted to make sure I got them all in. Added some stamps up there on that journaling card. You'll be able to see a close-up of these pages on the Wild Whisper blog, where they're going to be posted, but this gives you a little overview of how I laid out my pockets and the wonderful journaling cards as well that are in that collection. This is the second page. I love these cameras that are in there. I've added some different elements from the stamps, from the papers, onto my journaling cards and kind of tucked them in there and cut some of my pictures to go on top of some of the other journaling cards. I added the Focus on You stamp, again with the embossing powder, right on top of those feathers, which I really love the look at. So thanks so much for stopping by today. Be sure to check out Wild Whisper, and you can check out my blog linked below for more projects. Have a wonderful day, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.